What's up, guys? This is a video of KRS-One speaking and just my thoughts on the things that he talked about. Hope you guys enjoy.
Let's get started. First of all, let me start from where the brother just left off. I mean, 1988. Wow, I didn't expect that. No, because not many people are from take it back that far. Most people start hip hop in like 97. So this is really an honor for me. Absolutely. Before I started, there was a brother that was with me. His name was Pink House. And rest in peace to him. Whenever I come to Chicago, I just shout Pink House because he's the one that really started this thing called the Rap Down that was on WGCI back in 1988. Back then, major radio didn't want to play hip hop. They was afraid of it, this kind of thing. And it was Pink House that actually opened up Chicago to the type of hip hop that we do, which we called then edutainment.
Okay, so for this moment that I was hearing from KRS-One, I didn't realize that I didn't know about the person he mentioned called Pink House, was it? And then it just made me realize that I have way more to learn about the history of hip-hop than what I somewhat know already right now. So it just made me think of that.
This is the beginning of your scholarship. For others, it's the continuation of their scholarship. Those that are just getting turned on to this type of knowledge, this may be your beginning. But either way, this is about hip-hop scholarship. I'm going to emphasize that. Historically, hip-hop began on August 11th, 1973 at approximately 9 p.m. in a community recreation center at 1520 Sedgwick Avenue on the west side of the Bronx. At the request of his sister Cindy, then known as Pep, a graffiti writer named Cool DJ Herc, short for Hercules because of his size, introduced the principles of Jamaican-style DJing to the people of the Bronx. Now underline that word, Jamaican-style DJing. Cool Herc would focus on playing the instrumental breaks of certain recordings in a DJ and an MCing performance that he called the merry-go-round. Back then, Cool DJ Herc's gatherings were called jams. A brother by the name of Africa Bambaataa picked up where Cool Herc left off. Well, not even left off, Herc was in full swing. Africa Bambaataa picked that up. Now let me stop here. Cool Herc is credited with being the father of hip-hop because he's the first person to be the first b-boy, graffiti writer, MC, and DJ all at the same time. These elements already existed in the United States. Africa Bambaataa would organize Cool Herc's breaking, MCing, graffiti writing, and DJing into what Lovebug Starsky would start calling hip-hop. Through his organization, Zulu Nation, Africa Bambaataa would end many gang rivalries in New York and teach the combined principles of peace, love, unity, and safely having fun as the fundamental basis for why hip-hop would exist.
There's not a lot of history showing that, I guess, black men wanted to create peace within their group and showing like justice and stuff. It was just shown that all because of what news was talking about, how their gangs are a menace to societies and violence and all that stuff. It didn't show some were actually trying to create peace. And then for being Asian, some people of my same race thinks that way. That's the only thing they taught their kids growing up. I thought they were bad too, but going to schools with them, with my friends and such, they're not just Asians, they're all type of races. So everyone, even black men, wanted to create peace back then, and history was kind kind of pretty messed up.
Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa took this technique, this idea of breaking, MCing, graffiti art, and DJing, and organized it into sort of a philosophy and a culture. It was Africa Bambaataa that said that hip hop, the purpose of doing this is to cause peace, love, unity, and a way for us to safely have fun. He would later add knowledge and overstanding to hip hop, to the original term hip hop. It would also be breaking, MCing, graffiti art, DJing, knowledge, and overstanding. We'll get into overstanding later on. From Africa Bambaataa, you get Grandmaster Flash. Now, of course, I'm being very surface here because from Herc to Bam, there's about 100 other people that don't even get any recognition in history. But what made Kool Herc special was that he would eventually leave 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, the community center, and then go outside into the park. And when Kool Herc brought his style of music out to the park, that's when little guys like me, 8 years old, got a chance to hear the music. And he was playing James Brown, he was playing Sly and the Family Stone, again, the song Apache. And we used to do this freestyle dance called the Go-Off. We used to call it the Go-Off. This is before it was termed breaking. It was called the Go-Off. And this dance was a combination of martial arts, specifically capoeira, martial arts, and anything that came to your mind after that. It was a freestyle. And the way we acted, the way we spoke, the way we dressed, the way we conducted ourselves is what would later be called hip-hop. We had to call it something later on. Lovebug Starsky is credited for the one naming what we were, hip-hop. Where the term hip-hop comes from is a mystery. No one really knows where it comes from. We are giving credit to these specific people. But at the time, you know, and matter of fact, let me just go get a little deeper with you right now. I'm quite sure you can handle it. The way history is approached in general, the science of history, is not the way history actually is. And this is why, from a scholarly point of view, we have to make these distinctions. If I was just talking about rap and hip hop, then I would just go on with Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, Flash, you know, and so Rocksteady, Dougie Fresh, we would go on. But let me just stop and make an emphasis here. The hip hop's origin is a mystery. No one really can take credit for the beginning of hip hop. It just happened. We was just there and doing our thing, and one thing led to another, and all of a sudden we found ourselves doing specific dances. We called it the Go-Off. The news show 2020, back in the days, would call it breakdance. This is where the original term comes in, breakdancing. It was from the news. Now the reason I point this out in historical science is because you gotta understand, terms and names are not reality.
History is someone's opinion. It's not all true. Maybe it is all true, but like it is someone's point of view.
History is brought out by many different minds of view, and then society takes it and believe that it's true, and then it becomes history to them.
I guess our history, or the world's history, or America's history, that nothing is really true. It's just a person's perspective or point of view. So that spoke to me, because I was thinking about it sitting in U.S. history class, that his history is a person's or anybody's point of view and retelling it on their behalf.
Bruce Lee was huge in early hip hop. Huge. Everything about Bruce Lee we wanted to be. Everything about Bruce Lee. And on top of that, Bruce Lee, his movies used to always have a social message in it. What we loved about Bruce Lee is his sideman, one of his best friends was a guy named Jim Kelly. Black dude with a huge afro. And Jim Kelly was one of the only black actors next to Shaft, but one of the only black, Richard Roundtree, the movie Shaft, but Jim Kelly was beating down police officers in the hood. White police officers, white cops who actually had it in for the black community at the time. Here's Bruce Lee showing you in a motion picture, if you can learn martial arts, you can defeat the cops. So we was with Bruce Lee on that one.
He was there when we went to go see KRS-One. He was the one who put everything together.
So I wanted to give out a shout out to Bill